What is up, YouTube? All right, I am the bodybuilding vegan. I have been vegan for 20 years now, worked with about 500 athletes, probably written several thousand meal plans at this point. Got a new client, he needs a meal plan, so I'm going to be walking you guys step by step through how this looks like. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to see how I take their current statistics, height, body weight, gender, things along those lines. I figure out what macros I want, what calories I want. I start plugging in foods and then comparing what I plugged in to the macro targets that I've set and basically build a meal plan step by step. So you guys are going to see that probably here in the next 15 minutes. If you hop in live and you got a question, let me know. If not, that's also okay too. You can always leave a comment after. So I'm going to share my screen here and show you guys how I build this out. So we've got our left side here, I've got some information on the client, and on the right side, I have my Fitness Pal, and I'm going to use this to build it out. So, client is 39. Didn't write it here, but I know this information. They're male, 267 pounds, about 6'1". Goal is fat loss. No allergies, but seitan isn't their favorite food. They'd like to be more whole foods, less processed. I thought their supplement list was great, so I wanted to include that here. Taking a multivitamin, B complex, D3, algal oil, iron, magnesium glycinate. Don't sleep on this one because it helps you sleep really well. And creatine. So, really great supplement list here. I honestly wouldn't even add anything extra to this. They said their current macros were about 140 protein, 200 carbs, 60 fat. Now, I would guess based on their body weight that this isn't exactly accurate. If they had been sticking to these macros consistently, we could find out the exact calories right here. We know that there's 4 calories per gram of protein. So 140 times 4 is 560 plus 200 times 4 would be another 800 calories from carbs. So we're looking at 1360. Let me take the fat, 60 times 9 is 540 plus 1360. We're right at like 1900 calories. If you're weight 267 and you're tracking 1900 calories every single day, you're losing a significant amount of body weight. So I'm going to say that maybe these are like current, maybe ideal macros, maybe, but not what I think they were actually locked into here. So that's fine. I will just kind of take that information and think that that was maybe their ideal, and I'll write out what I think their current macro range should be. So I've got it written out here. There's 4 calories per gram of protein, 4 calories per gram of fat, 9 calories per gram of, I'm sorry, 4 calories per gram of carbs, 9 calories per gram of fat. So we can do the math here to find out his calories and his total macros. I'm going to say this guy's 267 pounds, 6 feet tall, a little bit of muscle. Maybe his like target weight range could be around 200 pounds ish. So I think it'll be safe to put his protein about 200 grams a day. Then for his carbs, we'll come back to that. We're going to want to look at his fats as well. For somebody 267 pounds, I think a safe fat range would be something like 65 grams per day. And I'm going to say, like, so what I do is I find the protein that I want to give them, I find the fat that I want to give them, then I give them the rest as carbs. So realistically, I think his calorie target at 267 pounds, he's fairly active in his job. I think, I think if we nailed something like, I don't know, 2250 calories a day, that would likely really help this guy shave some fat off. And then if he needs to, he can always lower it from there. But I think that'd be a safe starting point. So for his protein, 200 times 4, I can actually do that one in my head. That's 800. 65 times 9, that's gonna be 585. So we'll take those two numbers, 585 and the 800, we'll add them together, and we'll find out how many calories he's getting each day from protein and from fat. It's 1385. We'll take the 1385 and we'll back out that we want about 2250 each day. Leaves us 865 calories left. So if we make those all from carbs, divide that by 4, about 216-ish carbs. So we'll put 216. 216. 216 times 4 is that 816, 865-ish. So put him at about 2250 calories. These would be his desired macros. And then I have a list of foods that I typically pull from. For protein, we can use TVP, we can use tofu. You didn't love seitan, we got Say-Grace or soy curls. We got veg protein powder, edamame. For carbs, you could do oats, you could do bananas, zucchini, potatoes, beans, rice cake, potatoes. I think I already said potatoes up here. Or an intra workout. I don't think he's pushing the gym quite that hard to where the intra workout would be necessary at this point in time. For fat sources, I like some flax, some avocado, some nuts or nut butter. And then probiotic foods, very big on these. So some type of vegan yogurt, apple cider vinegar, kimchi or sauerkraut. And for veggies, green beans, peas, asparagus, pumpkin, bell pepper, carrots. What else can we throw? We could throw other veggies in there. What do I like? Did I put spinach? I like spinach. Spinach, just kind of going off the top of my head. Since he's in a cut, for fruits, blueberries and strawberries will be really solid for us here. We could add other things potentially as well. Watermelon is really solid. Apples are also another good fruit to add in there. Okay, cool. So I'm going to start taking this and plugging that into my Fitness Pal here. So for meal one, let me see. Got any comments here? Nope. All right, we're good to go. Good to keep rolling. All right, so for meal one, we are going to program in, I like oats. So we'll do some oats with maybe some of that veg protein powder. We could do some blueberries. I like frozen blueberries. And we could do some flax seeds. Boom. All right. Go ahead and refresh this page so you guys can see the stuff added in. And that might be a little bit high on the oats, so I'm going to drop that down a little bit for the protein powder. Drop it down a little bit. I think we're good with the flaxseed and with the blueberries. So that's kind of like the template for meal one here. Then for meal two, maybe for this one, we do like kind of like a burrito bowl. So we could do some TVP. It's easy. We could do some black beans. Do like half a can. See if I can find a can of beans on here. Yeah, there we go. Nope. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a hard time to find like a whole can of black beans, or I'm just gonna put black beans can. I'll see if it works. Sorry, you guys can't see me doing this, but all right, I'll just have to voice this and make it clear that that it's just a little bit frustrating. I just wish we could do a whole half a can here. Let me type in black beans, whole can. See if my Fitness Pal has it. Okay, there we go. We got one can. All right, so I'm gonna put a half a can. Jeez. All right. Sorry for the delay there. All right, so we got that can of black beans, or the half can. Then we've got the TVP. We could add some salsa to this. That'd be fun. We could add some avocado for some healthy fats here. I'm going to lower that TVP because that's kind of a lot. Salsa, avocado, and it really is a little bit of guess and check here, guys. I build it out and start to see what it looks like. So we got the black beans at a half a can, 50 grams of the TVP, 4 tablespoons of salsa, and 75 grams of fat. Okay, or sorry, 5 grams of avocado. Okay, that's looking all right. That's solid there. Let's go on to meal three. For this one, maybe we'll give him like an Asian meal. We'll do some tofu. I like the super firm from the soya. Maybe we'll add a little bit of rice. Rice digests really well. Maybe we could add some peas. I like peas. They're high in protein, a little bit of fiber. They digest pretty well for most people. We'll add in some kimchi as that probiotic. So this is kind of what meal 3 is going to look like. All right. So Solid amount of protein, 44 protein, 18 fat, 53 carbs. Let's bring in our totals right now. 168 carbs, 45 fat, 132 protein. So we've got room. We've got room to keep working towards this. All right. So for meal 4, I think for meal 4, let's trying to think of what we want the protein to be for this one. I guess it kind of just depends on cost here. Like if he's trying to keep costs low, could do another one of the TVP. Maybe we do like a TVP, but more of like a kind of like a pasta bowl. So do the TVP, we'll do some pasta sauce. We could do some green beans. I like that one. We could do or the carb source. Maybe we'll do some zucchini. And you could always sub in like yellow squash as well. There's some zucchini because it's good to add things like zucchinis and other ones of those pretty low calorically dense veggies because they'll keep you a bit fuller. All right, let me catch you guys up here. See what's missing. Ooh, what would be really good with this? Some nutritional yeast. That'll be some more protein. All right, I'll do like 10 grams. All right, so the fats are really low with that one. So maybe we'll add a little bit more avocado. I love avocado, so I feel like most people do. All right, so let's see where we're at now. And we'll compare our target numbers on this side with what we're seeing at the bottom. So we're at 208 carbs, which is almost exactly where we want to be. We're at 55 fat. That's a little bit under where we want to be, and 169 on the protein. So that's a bit under where we want to be. So how can we pull this protein up? Well, really, it's going to be a little bit funky to do it for meal 3 with that tofu block. It's a little bit hard to add just like more tofu because then the blocks won't break even. What we could do is we could add a little bit more TVP in meal 2 and meal 4. That would be an easy way. So we'll bump it from 50. We'll try 70 grams in both of those. And honestly, if his protein's a little bit under, it's not the end of the world either. Okay, so with those bumps there, now we've pushed the carbs a little bit higher than we want to have them situated here. Not the end of the world. Actually, it's not really pulling correctly. I don't think it updated. Okay, well, that's a little bit weird. It's a little bit off. At least it's showing off on my end. All right, so what do we want to do here? I'm going to make a little minor adjustment. Take that TVP from 70. Let's just go to 65 in both meals. Take 10 total grams off the top. All right, so 216 carbs, 55 fat, 185 protein. They have like a mystery carb adding in somewhere. Just doesn't make sense. Not sure what's going on. I think my fitness pal is glitching. Not like we need it right now, huh? Well, whatever. We'll just keep working around it. That is weird. Okay. Thank you for your patience here. Doesn't really make sense to me. Oh, okay. Whatever. My fitness pal wants to be silly. Okay, so we have a little bit of room to add fat. The protein's actually pretty close to where we want it to be. So let's add, in this meal 1, I had forgotten to add some of this. We'll try the So Delicious coconut yogurt. I love that one myself. It's very low in calories. It's unsweetened. Oh, wait. Nope, I plugged in the wrong one. I have both. All right, there we go. Save him a little bit of calories there and go with the unsweetened version. Now it wants to track both. I think MyFitnessPal is having a day with itself. All right, there we go. Taking it out. So that puts us 185 protein, 58 fat, 220 carbs. Let's go ahead and so confusing. Got the TVP in here. Look at it. This one's at 19 and this one's at 19. But in my phone, it's showing 40. I don't know why it would show differently on the phone than in here. I don't know. Let's try it. Usually it's gonna bug me if it doesn't line up. All right. Fun things that you guys can look forward to when you build your own meal plans. All right. Try removing it. I'm gonna remove it on my phone. It must be something like just not communicating between the phone app and the website. Okay, we removed the TVP. Let's go add the TVP back in. Still off. Okay, well, I have no clue what's going on. MyFitnessPal, you bug me. All right. So I think it's pretty solid. What could we do? We could add to this meal 3, we could add a little bit of edamame. That would give us a little bit of fats and a little bit more protein as well. So let's try adding 75 grams, see where that throws us to. All right, so he's at 194 protein, 62 fat, 228 carbs. That's pretty close to where I had things listed. I think what we will do from here is we will I'm going to take this rice down just a little bit. That way his carbs are a little bit more in line. So drop 10 grams of rice off of there. Let's see what that puts him at. 220, 62, 193. I think that's solid. It's around 2260 calories. This should be right in line for him to go ahead and lose some body fat while still being able to build and maintain muscle. 193 grams of protein should be pretty solid for him. He's not like in the gym twice a day, like killing himself or anything along those lines. Just pretty active job. And let me come on back to you guys. So really, I think this will be a really solid starting point for him. And we'll just adjust it here as we go. We might need to drop the food down with time, or possibly even be able to increase food from there. So if you guys found this helpful, leave a like, go ahead and subscribe. If you want some free pre-built meal plans, check out Vegan Squad Coaching. We have tons of pre-built meal plans in there. And if you want a custom meal plan, I'll put my email below. If you guys want to reach out, I can build one for you as well. So I hope that you all have the best day ever. If there's anything else I can do, just let me know.